Well, we arrived in Quartzsite, Arizona last night, and this morning, the most wonderful thing happened. First thing this morning, this Jeep pulls up, and inside is one of our viewers. His name is Jeff, and he has his dog Big Bear with him. And you know what he said? He said, "I'm heading into town, and I'm coming back with pie, because I know you guys like pie." Where did you get that idea? There's a Dutch apple and a cherry lattice and whipped cream to boot. I know you guys recognize Linda over there chatting. Next to Linda is Jeff. He brought the pie. Thank you, Jeff. And that's Becky and Will. They're our friends from Great Falls.
Yeah, it's not about the pie. It's about us all just sitting here enjoying pie together. That's the trick right there.
Yeah, I agree
Living the
with that.
life in the desert.
The pie is just a good excuse.
That's right.
Yes, the pie is also good.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
Good pie, good company.
As you walk through the desert here around Quartzsite, you find these rock formations on the ground, and these are left over from Patton, you know, from World War II. This was some kind of a post or bivouac area. This is not the main one. You just find these little sites all over.
Is that a number? 98?
Oh, I think it is. Here's a clue. Linda just found this number. It's either an 88 or a 98. Looks like a 98. So that could tell us something. There's a lot of people zooming around on their side-by-sides and having a great time, but it occurs to Linda and I that they don't get to see a thing. They blow right by all this stuff, and not just the flora and the fauna, but, you know, also these marks in the desert and, you know, little historical things that they just miss. They just blow right by. But everybody has their fun their own way. Either way, Linda's dressed with a fleece and then a windbreaker, but when the breeze dies off, you get hot, and then when the breeze kicks back in again, you get really cold. The wind is really cold today. Jumping cholla. You get anywhere near this stuff, you would swear that balls of it jump off and land on your clothing. Boy, for sure don't let your pets get close to this. Don't camp anywhere near it if you got a dog. Here's a really old post in the ground.
Not me.
Who knows? It's out here in the middle of nowhere. Maybe it had a sign on it at one time that said, "Off limits, keep the personnel from wandering out in the desert." Who knows? And we're coming up on a white post, but I think I know what this one is. This one's a mining claim. And it'll be dated and everything. Inside this will be, if I took this apart, there'll be the paperwork in here rolled up. So this is a mining claim right here.
Wow, it's a fancy one.
Yeah, that one's done right. That one looks pretty recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, how old is this? And I wonder who camped here. There's no charred wood in there anymore. It's all blown away. That's pretty old.
So this is a nice campfire ring, but it's really a cooking fire ring. It's the opening here, so you can scrape out your coals or push them in or stick long pieces of firewood in. And the back is flat, so it reflects the heat out. Nice spot. Somebody knew what they were doing here.
Yeah, you wonder, gee, what made that drag mark in the ground there? But it's just that branch blowing back and forth in the wind. Digging in. We once had a neighbor who wasn't too bright, and he wasn't very nice either, but he had a branch on top of his asphalt shingles that had been doing that, and it wore through his roof. And he went up on the roof and patched it, and didn't cut the branch. That's true. That was just blew me away. It's like, what? It's probably hard for you to see. I don't know, but there's a set of tracks down here. They're really wide apart. To me, they look like tank tracks. And then further up on the hill, there's another pair of tracks that are like this, like that, really wide apart. And they go up the ravine here. We're going to go on up and see where they go, or, you know, just check it out. Look at the bedrock down through this ravine. Wish I'd have brought my metal detector. This big
mining claim, though.
Oh, mining, that's further down though. They're generally not very big, but hard to say though. You see on the piece of paper in that mining claim, it's going to give you coordinates and tell you exactly the dimensions of the claim and what they are. But this is bedrock through here. Now I can see why that mining claim would be there. Find gold in the crevices. Yeah, these tracks are really, really wide. And it's not an established road. It's like something went up here and down a couple of times, and that was it. So I'm thinking these are, they say that the World War II tank tracks are like 8 feet apart or something like that. And then the ones up in the 50s and 60s were wider like this. That's what I heard anyway. For those of you that might not know what I'm talking about in this video, down here near Quartzsite, Arizona, this is where Patton trained the 1st Armored and for World War II. So they did a lot of mechanized training here in the desert between here and Southern California. But a lot of it went on here. And the tank tracks, even the ones from World War II, are still very visible in the ground here. You can come here, you can actually look for them, you can see them. And you can also see where Patton, where they were billeted, you know, where they set up their camp. You can see that too in several different places here. The nurses trained here also. It's all really interesting. It's just fun to come out here in the desert and look for sign. So these tracks come through here, and then they drop down in this ravine here. And I don't know that they go any further. Might have just doing their war games, they might have hid out down here or something. I don't know.
Oh, look at all the sparkles, Rick. Can you see it?
Ooh, one of our granddaughters is going to like that.
It's like you captured a piece of the sky.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, nice. We'll take that home for the granddaughter.
Yep.
Don't know. Maybe, you see, I came up here thinking maybe there's a mine up here or something. So we're just checking it out. This part of this trail is actually still those tank tracks going up over the top here. Boy, they went through some rough stuff. Good training, I guess.
Front part of my ankle is starting to ache, but it's okay.
Yeah, I know you. This is a first big outing for you. And we didn't pick the smoothest territory, did we? Not at all. Yeah, you did. Our idea is to finish up over this hill, down the other side into the wash, and then kind of head back out and towards camp. It's been a lot of fun. We still got a ways to go. She's doing all right. And we're just coming to the top of this saddle. A little bit windy, but that tank came up here. And down there is where we came from. You see the highway out there in the distance. You can see where they parked down there. They went up towards that saguaro standing there. Talk about the ultimate ATV. That's the end of the tank track right there. Well, it actually looks like 2 tanks ended up here, but they didn't. I said they stopped here. They didn't. They went through this rough lava rock down this other side, and then you can see their tracks continuing on right through here. And then down below here is a wash, but oh, what fun. But these boys ended up in Europe, and I'm sure that wasn't any fun at all. And in the middle of this tank track going down, there's a hunk of really old rubber. Maybe that was that padding that they had on their treads or something. That's just torn off. This is hard like a rock, it's so old. One thing we have a lot of fun looking for is ancient dwellings, and that spot up there caught our eye, but it's facing the wrong way. For one thing, it's facing into the predominant wind. Usually they put them on the other side, unless there's something across the entrance, but that also looks a little small.
But it's also facing south.
Oh, towards the sun. Yeah, that's true. That could be just not a dwelling, but just a
shelter.
A shelter. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Linda's left earring fell off, and we were looking all over the ground for it because she felt it drop off, and we looked and we looked and we started digging around the rocks, and where did we find it?
It was attached to my shoelace.
it hooked on her shoelace, and here we are looking all over for like the last 20 minutes.
When I heard it fall, I was like this, so it just went and fell right into my shoelace.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we found it, because we want to bring this patrol back without casualties. One of the coolest things you can possibly do is come down here for the desert bloom, when everything just lights up. All the cactuses go into bloom, the ocotillo, everything blooms, and it's all reds and oranges and yellows and pastels. It's just beautiful. And you got to kind of do some research online to find out when it's happening. We've been down here for the bloom once. It seems to me it's around March, Linda, April, something like that. But yeah, you need to check. And if you're planning a trip out this way, that's a good time to do it. Well, this was once a giant saguaro. And you can see the ribs inside. It has this structure of ribs, vertical ribs going up. And this one has gotten old past its time. There's water down in that hole. Probably just rainwater collected there. We had several days of rain here last week. Well, we're just making our way back out this wash. There's some ATV tracks through here. It occurs to me that when this wash is flowing, this is a huge wash. Can't imagine what it looks like. Must be some river. But right now, it's just a beautiful walk.
Well, we're almost back to camp, so we're going to end this video here.
Yeah, it was about a 6-mile hike. Pretty rough.
Rough, going up and all this.
Especially for a couple old people that spent the last couple months cooped up inside the house because it was too cold outside.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for coming along on this one. We'll see you around.